Welcome. You're listening to TheVerbVerse, the podcast where we unlock the English language through the world's most exciting and trending topics. Hello, English learners, and welcome. I'm Taylor, your guide here on TheVerbVerse, ready to explore fascinating subjects and boost your vocabulary.
And I'm Max. I'm here with Taylor, excited to dive into global conversations and discover new ways to speak English naturally. We're on this learning journey together.
Absolutely, Max. And today, we're talking about something truly revolutionary that's changing how we all communicate. AI chatbots like ChatGPT and Gemini.
Get ready to understand these amazing tools and learn all the essential English phrases you need to discuss them confidently. Let's get started.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear. We want to unpack these AI chatbots. We'll look at, what they actually are, who the main players are.
Right, and how they're changing things, both in our daily lives and at work.
Exactly. And we also need to touch on the important stuff, the challenges and considerations around using them. The goal is really to make sense of it all and give you the language to talk about it.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's dive right in. When we talk about a modern AI chatbot, what are we really talking about? How are they different from, say, older chat programs?
Yeah, good question. It's a huge leap, actually. We're talking about computer programs designed to simulate, human conversation, really convincingly sometimes.
Through text or voice or...
Both, and even images now. The key thing, and this is really central, is they're powered by large language models, LLMs.
Okay, LLMs. We hear that term a lot.
Right, and they're not just like databases. They're these incredibly complex deep learning models. They've been trained on just massive amounts of text and code.
So they learn patterns from all that data.
Exactly. They use something called natural language processing, NLP, to understand what we say or type, and then natural language generation, NLG, to create responses that sound human. It's moved way beyond simple pre-programmed answers.
And what makes today's chatbots feel so smart? I know you mentioned context.
Yes, that's crucial. They have this ability now to understand context over really long conversations, thanks to things like hierarchical memory networks and these long context windows.
Meaning they remember what we talked about earlier in the chat.
Pretty much, yeah. It gives them a much better sense of the ongoing dialogue. And then there's this other cutting-edge thing, native multimodality.
Native multimodality. Okay, break that down.
It basically means they're built from the ground up to handle different types of information all at once. Text, spoken language, images, simultaneously.
So you could upload a photo and ask a question about it, and it understands both.
Precisely. You get a text answer, or maybe even a spoken one, about the image. It's not separate tools cobbled together. It's one integrated system. That's a real game changer for how intuitive they feel.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. No wonder there's so much buzz and, competition. Who are the big names we should know? The ones everyone's talking about?
Well, the two giants right now are definitely OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini. ChatGPT really kicked things off in, late 2022?
November 2022, yeah. It felt like it came out of nowhere.
It did. And it runs on models like GPT-4o now. It's known for being really good at, conversation, creative writing, that sort of thing. Plus, they have custom GPTs now.
Custom GPTs?
Yeah. Users can build their own tailored versions for specific tasks, like a GPT just for helping with coding or one for drafting marketing emails. It makes it much more versatile.
Interesting. Okay. And what about Google's entry? Gemini.
Right, Gemini, launched publicly in December 2023. The interesting thing about Gemini is that Google emphasizes it was designed for multimodality right from the start.
Built for pictures and voice, not just text.
Exactly. And it comes in different sizes, too. Nano, Pro, Ultra, depending on the task. A huge advantage for Gemini is its integration.
Integration with other Google stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gmail, Drive, Search, YouTube. It plugs right in, which means it can potentially be much more personalized and useful for tasks within that ecosystem. And its image generation in the free version is quite powerful too.
So it sounds like maybe ChatGPT is often the go-to for creative tasks, while Gemini might shine more with factual stuff and fitting into your Google workflow. Is that fair?
That's a reasonable general take right now, yeah.
Huh.
Though both are constantly evolving.
Okay. So what does all this mean for us, regular people? How are these tools changing daily life?
Oh, hugely. Personal productivity is a big one.
Yeah.
Summarizing long articles or documents, drafting emails, getting quick answers. It saves a lot of time.
And learning too, right?
Absolutely. It's like having a personalized tutor available 24/7. You can ask it to explain complex topics in simple terms, practice a language.
Right.
It really opens up access to learning.
That's powerful. And what about in the professional world? How are businesses using them? The impact there is massive as well. Customer service is a prime example. Some reports suggest chatbots are handling anywhere from 80 to 95% of routine customer questions now.
Wow, that's a huge chunk. Frees up human agents for complex issues, I guess.
Exactly. And think about software development. Tools like Microsoft Copilot, which uses similar tech, help developers write code, find bugs, optimize things. It really accelerates the whole process.
So increased efficiency across the board. But it can't all be smooth sailing. There must be challenges or concerns, right?
Definitely. With great power comes, well, one major issue is what they call hallucinations.
Hallucinations. Like the AI sees things.
Hey, not quite. It means the AI generates information that sounds plausible, totally confident, but it's actually wrong, factually incorrect. Improving accuracy is a huge ongoing effort.
Okay, that's a bit worrying. You need to be able to trust the answer.
You do, and another big area is bias. These models learn from the data they're trained on, and, well, the internet isn't exactly free of bias.
So the AI can end up repeating or even amplifying existing societal biases.
That's the risk, yeah. Developers are working hard on ways to mitigate bias, but it's a complex problem. And of course, data privacy is always a concern whenever you're inputting information.
Right. Where does your conversation data go? Good point. All this brings up a bigger question, maybe something for you, our listener, to think about. How do these tools change us? When we have AI that can generate ideas, write text, answer questions so easily, are they just tools, or are they becoming partners in how we think? What does that mean for our own learning, our own critical thinking skills?
That's a deep question, something we'll likely be grappling with for a while.
It really is. Well, that's all for this episode of TheVerbVerse. Max, AI chatbots are pretty amazing, right?
Totally. They're almost as good as Taylor at answering questions. Almost.
Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed exploring this trending topic and want more great conversations, remember to subscribe to TheVerbVerse wherever you listen.
And tell us what you think. Leave a comment or review. Until next time, stay curious.